Assalamualaikum. My name is Abdullah Zuhair bin Izam Jamiri. My number metric is 279898. I have chosen the topic called mean and standard deviation of the sample mean. So today we're gonna talk about this topic. Let's go. So first we must understand what is the mean of the sample mean and know the formula to get it. So this is mean of the sample mean. For sample of size n, the mean of the variable x equal the mean of variable under consideration in symbols. This is a formula to get the mean of the sample mean. So next we go into the standard deviation of the sample mean. To get the standard deviation of the sample mean, we must implement this formula. So for sample of size n, the standard deviation of the variable x equals the standard deviation of the variable under consideration divided by the square root of the sample size. So for example, if you have mean of population and you want to find the standard error or standard deviation, this is the formula to get that result. So you must look at the standard error first or standard deviation. You divide by square root of the sample n, and you will get the standard deviation of the sample mean. So this is a example question 1. I will read the question first. A sample of the amount of each time to take the mechanic to rebuild the transmission for a 2010 Chevrolet Colorado show that mean is 8.4 hours and the standard deviation is 1.8 hours. If 40 mechanics are randomly selected, find the mean and the standard deviation of the sample mean. So this question requires you to find mean and the standard deviation of the sample mean. So first thing first, we must look at the question very detailed. The question already show you the data that you require you to implement to the formula to get the mean and the standard deviation. So I have highlight the mean here at the yellow color, and then the standard deviation at red color, and then the gray color for n sample. So if we have these three attributes, we actually are easy to answer this question. So after implement this data and use this formula, we will get the mean of the sample mean of this question is 8.4 hours. And then for standard deviation, after implement this formula, we will get that the standard deviation 1.8 divided to the square root of the n sample, we will get that the standard deviation is 0.2846. So I think after we have the data and we implement to the formula, we will be easier to find the mean and the standard deviation of the sample mean. So now we're going to the example question 2. So the question 2 is the mean wage for all 5,000 employees who work at the last company is $27.50 and the standard deviation is 3.70. So let x be the mean wage per hour for a random sample of certain employees selected from this company. So find the mean and the standard deviation of x for the sample size. So the question requires you to find the mean and the standard deviation for this different sample size. A is 30, B is 75, and C is 200. So let's take a look at the answer. So this is a solution for question 2. So for A, we will get after we read the question, we get the mean is $27.50 and the standard deviation is 3.70. So after implemented the formula, we will get that the mean of the population is 27.50 and the standard deviation of the sample mean is $0.676 for 30 population sample. And then for B is we have the same mean and standard deviation, so the answer for mean of the sample mean is same like A equation, but the standard deviation of the sample mean is different because the n sample is 75. So after doing this formula, we will get that the standard deviation of the sample mean is 0.427 $. So for C question, we will get that the n sample is 200. So the mean of the population mean is still same, 27.50, and then the standard deviation of the sample mean is different. We will get the answer is 0.262. So next we will going to the example question 3. So the question is the mean and the standard deviation of the tax value of all vehicle registered in a certain state are 13,525 and for $4,180. So suppose random sample of size 100 are drawn from the population of the vehicle. Find the mean and the standard deviation of the sample mean. So the question required you to find the mean and the standard deviation. So in this question, I also highlighted the details to implement to the formula. So this is the yellow color is mean, the red color is standard deviation, and the gray color is the n sample. So since the n is 100, the formula yield, so the mean of the sample mean is $13,525, and after we implement the details to the standard deviation formula, with $4,180 divide to square root of sample n sample, we got that the standard deviation of the sample mean is $418. So this is answering the question. So next we're going to question 4 and last question. The question is the paper baby's normal, focus on birth weight of baby. According to the article, the mean of birth weight is 4,284 grams with standard deviation of 622 grams. So the equation is you must identify the population and the variable. B question for example of size 200, find the mean and standard deviation of all possible sample mean weight. And the C, you must repeat the B question, but you change the sample size to 500. So this is the answer for this question. A is the population consists of all babies and the variable is birth weight. So the B is we implement the data to the formula. We got that the mean of the population, the sample mean is 4,284 grams, and then the standard deviation of the sample mean is 43.982 grams. So for the C answer, we got that the mean of the sample mean is the same, 4,284 grams. And then for standard deviation of the sample mean, we changed the sample size to 500, and then we got that the standard deviation is 27.816 grams. So this is answering this question. So I think it's enough, and that's all for my presentation. I hope my explanation is very clear. So thank you very much.